everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on these earrings, and I made these earrings using some of Eureka Crystal Beads, ELITE Eureka Crystal fancy stones. And so they contacted me and asked me if I would like to receive some of their new colors in the ELITE Eureka Crystal, and I said sure, I'd love to. And so I picked some out, and I love these colors. So we're going to do a little series with these colors called Fire and Ice. So the first one we're going to work on is this earring, and this is the same exact earring, but in this gorgeous, gorgeous color right here. And I'm going to show you what they sent me, so you can take a look and see what you think. And then I made, so look at these gorgeous chatons. Aren't those gorgeous? So I made this, and you can tell I was inspired. I'm not done with this yet. And then I decided to do a double bracelet. You can do this single, or you can make it double, and I might even add more onto this. I'm not sure, or I might just leave it very lacy. I kind of like the look of the negative space there. So these are tutorials. The rest of the tutorials will be coming up, but we'll make this earring today, and stay tuned, and I'll give you a little look at the gorgeous crystals they sent me, and then we'll do the tutorial. First, I want to show you the 13 by 18 millimeter oval fancy stones, and look at this gorgeous teal. I think it's teal ignite, and this is called dark orange, but oh my gosh, it is so much more than dark orange. You look into that and you see the glow. So beautiful. The chatons, and they're just so beautiful. So we've got the teal ignite right here, which is the same color as this beautiful 13 by 18 millimeter, and then we've got the Aurum Gold, which is so pretty, and we also have the 4 millimeter bicone in the Aurum Gold. So I mean, just so of course, you know, I'm going to pick everything that I want to use. So pretty. And this I already used them, so I made this pendant. I made this for to wear on Thanksgiving. And this one, this is an 8 millimeter chaton, and it's in dark. It's called dark orange. Again, doesn't do that color justice, because that is so gorgeous. So I can't wait to wear that. Is that too much for Thanksgiving? I don't know, maybe. Could be an ornament for your tree also. Okay, look at these beauties. We have the teal ignite in the 14 millimeter Rivoli as well. So pretty, and I love these pearls. Let's see, what are the pearls? The pearls are in royal gold, and we've got a 6 millimeter here and a 4 millimeter. I think they're so pretty. I love that deep, like rich gold color. I asked them about these, so they sent them to me, which was very sweet. Look at these gorgeous chatons here, and these are called poppy red, so they are the ELITE Eureka Crystal chatons, and those are gorgeous. And then look at the gorgeous bicones, and we have these are the 4 millimeter. We also have them in the 3 millimeter, and that's in the dark orange, which is stunning. I just wanted to show you the 3 millimeter, so really pretty 3 millimeter in dark orange. And look at this one. I think this is called, it's a 4 millimeter bicone, and the name was kind of cut off a little bit. I think it's reimagined topaz maybe, but that looks really dark. So I think it's one of the reimagined colors. Don't quote me on that, but so pretty. Okay, that's everything they sent me, and I'm going to use it all. Not today, but eventually. But we will be working on this earring. So let's get started with the tutorial. So materials I'm going to show on camera are going to be for this one, but I will link both colors in the description box below. The video, sizes, shapes, everything you need, including links to all those gorgeous crystals. So 2 15-0s, a Delica, some 2 millimeter fire polish. I've got a stop bead, an ear wire. You don't need much, but I mean, it really comes out pretty. All right. Oh, I'm using 4-pound Fireline. I'm really into 4-pound because you can, you know, it's so versatile, because you can go through the beads more times, and nothing gets stuck. So I love it. You can use 6-pound. And I've got a needle, a size 11 beading needle. I always keep 12s handy as well on my little cushion. I think that's everything. So again, everything is in the description box below the video. So don't forget to click the down arrow, the more, the 3 dots, whatever it takes to open it up, to expand that box, and everything will be listed. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's get started. So thread your needle with about 40 inches of thread, put on a stop bead around in the middle. So the thread after the stop bead that's threaded onto your needle will be slightly longer, which is actually what I want because you know you have your end that went through the eye of the needle. All right, so we're going to pick up and drop down to our stop bead 40 Delicas. Okay, let's make them into a circle by sewing through the first bead. After your stop bead, it's just that first Delica, just like so. Okay, I'm going to pick up a Delica. I'm exiting a Delica. I'm going to skip the next one and sew through the following one. Oops, just like so. I'm going to pull, and that Delica should sit up on the previous one. So just like that, we'll do that again, picking up a Delica, exiting a Delica, skipping one, sewing through the next one. Just keep doing that, picking up a Delica, exiting, skipping, sewing through the next one. You don't have to pull too tight, just keep it in line. You don't want the beads to buckle up too much. So just like that, you can do that all the way around and then we'll step up. Let's step up. So I'm exiting here, picking up a Delica. I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to sew through the next Delica and then this one on the diagonal. It's just going to step me up to the edge so I can put some more beads on. Okay, next up we're going to add some 15-0s. So I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm exiting here, the Delica. I'm just going to sew through the next Delica. That's sticking out, the up bead, whatever you want to call it. So just sewing through every Delica with a 15-0. So you're going to do that all the way around. So as I go around, I'm just putting my thumb in there against the beads and I'm just letting it curve a little bit, just a slight gentle curve as I add my 15-0s. Okay, coming down to my last 15-0 of this round, exiting here, I'm going to sew through this Delica. So here would be the sticking out Delica and then the 15-0 on the diagonal. I have it on my thumb so you can see it a little bit better. And that has stepped me up. And I'm going to put some more beads on. So I'm going to add another round of 15-0s. So just picking up a 15-0 and sewing through the next sticking out 15-0, up bead, whichever you want to call it. Like that. So you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, let's step up. So picking up my 15-0, exiting right here, I'm going to sew through this 15-0 and then the one on the diagonal. That's going to step us up. So just like that. Okay, this is what we have so far. So that's going to be the back of our bezel, but we're not done yet. I just want to turn onto the front for a minute. So I'm just going to leave that needle and thread and I'm going to turn my piece around. I'm taking off my stop bead and you'll be exiting an interior Delica right here. So you see that? So I'm exiting right here. I'm just going to sew through the bead on the diagonal just to get me out to the outside so I can add some more beads on. So this is what it looks like. You'll be exiting the Delica on the outside. Okay, this is what we have so far. So I'm just going to turn it this way so that we can add some beads on. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my stone in. And I don't know if this is 100% necessary, but if you place your stone in such a way that the top of the stone, so you know where we're going to put our ear wire later, is sort of around like facing So the tip right there is in between like these two Delicas, and it's going to move around, but you can always play with it. I just do this just so later I don't have to worry about the ear wire going on, you know, staying straight, you know, going on straight. So I'm going to try to keep it here, and it's going to move, and I'll just like move it back, and we'll do that as we go along. All right, so we put our stone in. Now we're going to add 15-ohs. So I'm going to pick up a 15-oh, exiting the Delica. I'm going to sew through the next Delica. So just like we did on the back, we're just going to add a round of 15-ohs on the front. So I'll let you go ahead and do that, and then come back and we'll step up. Okay, time to step up. And my stone fell out, you know, 3 or 4 times. I just placed it in again, sort of in that area. So I'm going to step up now. So exiting this Delica, picking up a 15-oh, I'm going to sew through this Delica and then the 15-oh on the diagonal. And now I'm ready to put some more beads on. Okay, next up I'm going to add another round of 15-ohs. So I'm going to add my matte silver 15-ohs. So exiting a 15-oh, the bronze one, I'm just going to pick up a matte silver, and I'm going to sew through the next bronze one. So just like that. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Okay, let's step up. So picking up my last matte silver 15-oh, exiting the bronze one, I'm going to sew through this bronze one, and then the 15-oh, the matte silver one on the diagonal. So just like that. Okay, now we're going to work on that little picot, but before we do that, so I'm exiting the silver right here. I'm just going to sew through the next 15-oh, that's the bronze one, and then the silver one right here. I just wanted to just end the, you know, the round. So I just came a little bit past where we stepped up. So now we're exiting one of the silver 15-ohs. I'm going to pick up another silver 15-oh, and I'm going to do that little picot. So exiting this one, I'm going to go back here and sew through these two. So the silver one in the back there, and then the one I'm exiting. And when I put that on, it's going to make that little picot. I'm going to sew through the next 15-oh, the one on the diagonal, the next one, which is a bronze, and the next one on the diagonal. So just like that. And that's going to give me the 2 to sew through again. I'm going to pick up a 15-oh, the silver. Exiting here, I'm going to sew through this one, and then the one I'm exiting. And that's going to give me another picot. Do that one more time. Through these two, so the bronze and the silver on the diagonal. And again, bronze, silver on the diagonal. Picking up a silver, exiting right here, I'm going to sew through this one, and then the one I'm exiting, pop that into place. There's our little picot, so you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, coming down to the very end, so my last picot, exiting here, just going to pick up a silver, sew through the previous one, and then the one I'm exiting, just like that. That's what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to move my thread a little bit, so I'm exiting here. I'm going to sew through this bronze 15-oh, and these two. Let's see if I can get through one. This one, and this one. And then I'm going to reverse direction and go through the top of one of the picot, just like that, because I want to put my 2 millimeters in now. Okay, picking up a 2 millimeter fire polish, exiting the point of one of the picots. I'm just going to sew through the point of the next one. Easy, just going to do this all the way around. like so. So just put all your 2 millimeters in, and then we'll continue. Okay, I've added all my 2 millimeters, and then I went through all the beads again just to reinforce that, and I think that came out really pretty. So I'm gonna, you want to be exiting one of the little silver 15-ohs. I want to get over to these Delicas, so exiting right here, I'm going to sew through this one and this one, then through this Delica, and then through this one. So on the diagonal, I'm gonna end up coming out of this Delica here, or just one here, you know, that's in the middle of, so here, let's see these 4, so it's in the middle, so we can put a bead here, and, you know, we're just gonna pop through. All right, so that's where you'll be exiting. Okay, so I'm exiting the Delica, that's center one, right there. I'm just going to pick up a 15-oh, the silver, matte silver. I'm going to just sew through the next Delica in line. I'm just going to do that all the way around. So we're just going to make that little picot around the edges. So just like that. So keep doing that all the way around, and then we'll continue. Okay, last 15-oh, exiting this Delica right here. I'm going to sew through this one. You can go ahead right up, well, right up through that 15-oh if it fits. If not, you know, if it works. If not, just go through the Delica and then this 15-oh like that. And then again, because I want to end this round, I want to go past where I started, I'm going to sew through the next Delica and the next 15-oh. So just like that. That's what it looks like. Okay, we're going to make the picot. So I'm exiting 15-oh. I'm going to pick up my 15-oh. I'm going to go back through the previous 15-oh here, and then the one I'm exiting. It's going to make our picot. Okay, this is what we have so far. So we have all our little picots on. This is what, here's the back, here's the front. Now we're going to work on the back a little bit because we want to look pretty from the front and back. So here's my back thread. I still have my thread. You can sew that front thread in. So I'm exiting a 15-oh. I'm going to do this picot in bronze. So I'm just going to, exiting here, I'm just going to go back through the previous one right there, and then the one I'm exiting, and I'm just going to put that on like so. And then I'm going to advance my needle, the next 2 15-ohs on the diagonal, and the next 2 like that, and I'm going to do that same picot. So I'm just going to go back through this one and this one like so, and put that picot on. And I'm just going to continue that all the way around. Okay, last picot on this side. So here I have them all done, and then I'm going to advance a little bit like we did on the front, just so we can get to a point. Like so. This is what we have. Okay, now you can leave this and just sew that thread in, and that would be the back. Or you can go ahead and add your 2mm fire polish, or anything you want in between there. So you'll look absolutely stunning, coming and going. Okay, I'm going to do the ear wire on the mat, or at least part of it, So because you won't be able to see what I'm doing once I pull this tight. So remember, we're going to work through this bead and this Delica and this Delica. So, you know, you want them sort of at the top here. That's my little kitty. He wants to come in. So we're exiting here. We're going to put on a 2mm, the ear wire. I'm coming, little guy. And make sure it's facing in the right direction because we're going to turn it over. We're working on the back right now. 2mm fire polish and through this Delica right here. So that's your thread path, and I'm going to go pet my cat, and I'll be right back. Okay, cat's been loved, and he's feeling better. So you're just going to pull these tight. And I'm just going to talk, you just want to go around again and come through again. And you want to make sure the ring on the ear wire is sitting in between these two fire polish beads. And I'll show you that in a minute. And like I said, if this doesn't work out, you can always use 11/0 here. So here I'm exiting here. You just want to, like, reverse direction. So through this one, this one, this one, reverse direction, come through this again, come through all of these again. So you're just going to go around and reinforce that. And we're done. And I love how the earring came out. I think it's so pretty. And look how different it looks depending on what color beads you use. So this is a little more sort of, you know, subdued but fiery nonetheless, and this one almost looks like it has flower petals around it. And stay tuned for this bracelet as well. You can make this a single or a double. I was just having so much fun, I made it a double. I might even add more onto it, or maybe we'll just we'll just leave it as it is. So here's your fire and ice little tutorial series. So we'll be coming up, the other tutorials will be coming up soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take a look at those beautiful ELITE Eureka crystals because they're so, so gorgeous. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.